2 days in a row, and we are live with our real estate market update for Fort Collins and Northern Colorado. This is looking back at our prior month statistics. We're going to look at median sales price, days on market, inventory, new homes on the market, closed sales, interest rates, and really dive in and then give some anecdotal information about what do we think the market's going to be doing, going on, and what our team is doing. We work with a lot of folks that are, buying and selling. We've got a lot of listings going on right now, buyer clients. We got a lot of people who are actively lurking and then also kind of waiting until spring or at least the new year to get going once this kind of holiday season ends. But without any further delay, let's jump in and look at some of our median sales prices. Now, this is both property types. I generally look at our residential detached, which still had a 3.1% increase from November of last year, but definitely had a small dip from October to November, which, we'll see that going into the winter months, October, December, January. We're going to see those numbers drop and kind of stay at the bottom out until we get into the new year, this kind of bell curve deal. But smoothing out the curve, and I was just playing around with ChatGPT, looking at kind of the recursion to the mean and what we could expect, because, this is pretty interesting stuff. This goes back to 2014. What we've seen since 1975 is anywhere between annually about a 4.7% annual appreciation. You could do different calculations to about a 5.5% average annual appreciation. But regardless, we have seen prices go from the 60,000s in the 1975 to 600,000s in the year 2024. But we had this 2-year period right here in 2020 to basically beginning of 2022. Well, it's actually end of 2022 because that was a rolling 12-month average. But we saw this really spike of housing prices, and then it stalled out really at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, and it's been flat for all intensive purposes, only a 1% increase versus 1 year ago in Fort Collins. But it's been flat since January or so of 2023, so almost 2 years, which we really needed that kind of calming of prices. So I think that's something that we will see eventually start to pick back up to that 4.7 to 5.5 annual appreciation that Fort Collins has seen since the 1970s. And there's some things that we talked about yesterday on the podcast. ADUs, what does that do to Fort Collins housing pricing? Technology. I was listening to some AI stuff with the robots, with Optimus, and who knows where housing price, 3D printing, smaller homes, not specific, better water consumption. I think the technology behind homes actually got me truly thinking. I was like, maybe I should sell some of my rental properties, which I am a buy and hold till you die kind of person. But I feel like we are going through this paradigm shift of the world with technology, and that's kind of getting out there, conspiracy theorists to a certain degree. But man, I started looking at 4.7 5.5% appreciation, and prices could be in the millions very quickly, which, obviously how places like San Francisco and Boulder, all that kind of stuff is happening. But man, it just kind of gets you thinking a little bit. Now let's get back to monthly days on market. So days on market, this again is going to be really what dictates how much in demand homes that are on the market are going, and how long they're sitting before going under contract and closing. In Fort Collins, we generally have about a 30-day close timeline from the day you go under contract to the day you close. And how we calculate days on market in Fort Collins, at least, is from the day you go onto the market until the day you close. So right here, suggesting 49 days is saying that you're on the market for about 19 days prior to going under contract and then subsequently closing. we will see days on market actually should really be increasing right now between November to December. We should be seeing October to November increasing, October to November increasing, October to November increasing. We should be seeing an increase in this number based off of seasonality, but we actually saw a decent dip, suggesting that there is buyer demand out there, more so than annually and seasonally expected. So we've seen interest rates kind of stabilize over the last couple of weeks as we were leaving throughout October and into the first 2 to 3 weeks of November. Interest rates were not doing great, and they were pumping back up to 6.5, 6.9, and we just got quoted today for a where is it? I'll tell you guys. We just got sent to us from a mortgage broker who has some of the most competitive rates in the market, and her comment was 760 credit, 10% down, first-time homebuyers at 6.125%, and non-first-time homebuyers with those same criteria is at 6.25%. So, we are seeing some kind of stabilizing around that 6% interest rate mark, which I would say drives buyer activity. As we see 6.5 to 7, it really puts a squeeze on buyers, and they just are not comfortable at that price point. So it's interesting seeing a little bit of a drop. Now, homes for sale, again, we will just increase. We're actually at 1.8% higher homes on the market. Let's look at both types, but we're 9.8% more homes than last year. So there's a lot more condos on the market this month versus 1 month ago. So if you're looking for a condo or a townhome, a lot more to choose from than 1 year ago. And days on market, looking at condos, we're actually only at 49 days. So still only 49 days. So you're going to be seeing condos sit for 19 days prior to going under contract, but your amount of homes that you have to choose from is up 24.7% on townhomes and condos. New listings, they're all over the place, but let's look at both. New listings up 16.8%. Wow. Residential detached this year at 119 versus last year of only 92. So we are seeing more sellers being willing to sell. We've had quite a few listing appointments, honestly. We had a listing go under contract last week. We had a lot of great activity on one of our listings in Midtown Fort Collins. We actually had a showing last night at one of our properties in Loveland. So there's seasonally, it feels like quite a bit of activity going on right now, which is great to see. People are kind of tired of sitting on the sidelines. They want to get moving. I would say also there's probably some concerns in the presidential, discussion of like what happens in the new year. And I think that is causing people to actively get in the market, but also pause. So I think the best thing to do is always, again, make the best decision for you. But there's plenty of people having those conversations. All right, so we've got closed sales down 2.5% for both, but up 13.9% than 1 year ago in November for single family detached. So demand up quite a bit from 1 year ago. I do want to show you, I think you guys are seeing my screen. Let me see real quick. No, you guys are looking at this. So let me get the interest rates that I wanted to show you. There we go. Yeah. Okay. That's what I want to see. So we will stop share here. Stop screen, present, share screen window. There we go. All right, here we go. Now, when you see that the closed sales are up 24% this November versus last, well, interest rates last October were at all-time highs for the last 2 years. We're talking nearing 8% during that October month, which again, we just talked last month where we saw huge spike in closed sales in October this year versus October last year because September had our lowest interest rates in a 2-year time period, and people closed 30 days later. So the activity that was in September because of low interest rates closed in October, whereas the closed sales in November, where we're 24% higher, was based off of a lot of these higher interest rates through October. So the high interest rates caused lower homes to go under contract and subsequently close in November, which would impact the closed sales of up 13.9% this year versus last year. So, people are going to buy in all types of markets, but when that affordability hits an impasse, which seemingly is at 8%, the market absolutely shut off in October. We had a listing go live in English Ranch in October of last year, and it was just, we were stoked because we actually got it under contract and closed. It was a good family friend, and we were stoked about that closing. All right, so we got median sales price that we talked about. It's kind of up 3.1% versus last year, but on a rolling 12-month, it was only up 0.8% versus 1 year ago, and relatively flatlined. We talked about days on market, homes for sale. Let's look at months supply, up to 2.1 months. So we have 2.1 months of supply, up 23% versus last year. And looking at both properties, we have almost 30% more homes on the market than we did 1 year ago, with 2.3 months supply of inventory. A balanced market is considered 6 months. Not in my career since essentially 2013 have I seen a balanced market, but we do see a lot of buyers having more power. Again, we've talked about days on the market. Here's rolling 12 months, 43 days on the market. This was the absolute craziness, madness for the rolling 12 months. Closed sales, homes under contract, interest rates. We've talked about all these kind of stuff. Let's go through kind of what our team is seeing. We had our team meeting today. And going around the room, we've got quite a few active buyers that are looking at leveraging this holiday season where sellers are seeing people walk through their homes, make great comments and feedback, but are not in any rush to make a quick offer or feel any type of urgency. Now, there are some outliers out there that are calling for offers and getting multiple offers. Those are very few and far between. Most homes are we are actively seeking out the buyers who toured our listings and asking them, what did you like about the house? What is stopping you from putting an offer in today? Is there anything that we can do on our end that makes the house more attractive for you to put an offer in? We were stoked to get our listing under contract last week. We've got great activity on a few of our other listings, but people are absolutely on the buyer side being patient and taking their time. And I would say they are one of the kind of strategies we're pushing right now is, hey, if you're able to, right now is a great opportunity for both new construction. We've toured Meritage Homes, Lennar, Century Homes, a handful of others in the area, and they're definitely wheeling and dealing right now. So I would say those are opportunities that you could explore. but there's still good demand. Even Meritage Homes sent me a text saying, hey, we're increasing prices on Monday by $5,000 per house. And one of my agents asked me, like, why do they do that? And I said, well, there's lots of different theories and strategies, and they've got their economists. I mean, this is a national builder, so they're not just kind of throwing mud at a wall by any means. But a lot of the times it's just every 5 homes we sell, we're increasing prices by X dollars. Or every month, there's different kind of things that they are doing, and that's to try to insulate their prices because they know they are going to be negotiating down. And if they've kind of artificially added $5,000, they've got some more cushion to go down from that price. But that being said, builders are a great opportunity right now. As far as our sellers go, the thing that we're telling them is you've got to have absolute patience right now, which is super tough because it's not necessarily a price thing. We've had multiple houses that have sat on the market for weeks, if not months, that ultimately get very close to their list price of 1 to 1.5% off that list price versus us coming to them and saying, we are recommending, a price reduction, which we tell our sellers anywhere from really 2.5% to 3% is what moves the needle on a price reduction. It's enough to basically get buyers reinterested in your property. If you're doing, we see properties that do just $2,000 price reductions every 2 weeks. And I'm fully against that strategy. It seems like you're just auctioning it off. There's no strategy behind it. There's no patience, because what we're telling our sellers is you have to give buyers time to come onto the market and see your house. Because today I could go to my wife and say, you know what? Let's go buy a new home. And I'm just this person on the market. I haven't been looking at Zillow or Redfin or anything like that for the last month or years. And all of a sudden tomorrow, our lives change because now our view and direction is buying a new house. And so we're going to see all of these houses on the market for the first time. And if you're too much in a rush or hurry as a seller to do a price reduction and lower the price of your house, well, you're not giving me as a new buyer an opportunity to come see your house that might just happen to check all of my boxes. And I would have bought it for $890,000, but you just did a price reduction to $860,000. So I'll buy it there. And so yes, price reductions absolutely can make an impact on selling a house. But I would say in the market that we are currently in, being patient, letting new buyers come onto the market, see your house, understand the value of your house, and not being too quick to strike on just doing a quick price reduction. And as a buyer, you come in with, be ready to wheel and deal. I would say contingencies are open. Coming in under list price, looking at concessions, doing a temporary buy down, maybe a 1 or 2 year buy down to get you to that point where interest rates are in those 5.5% to 5%, and you can refinance on the backside. Those are some strategies as a buyer to explore. And then of course, looking at new builds, hard to compete with that. They have a ton of inventory and they want to do deals. That is for sure. That is all I've got today. That is really the main points to take home. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to ask them now. I'm here. I'm happy to answer them. If not, feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to get back to you with any specifics. And if you're considering buying or selling here in Northern Colorado, give my team and I a call, text, or email. We'd be happy to talk to you. We're doing a lot of business, which is just awesome. As a team, we're really starting to feed off each other's transactional volume of leveraging each other's skill sets and knowledge, and it's an exciting time. So we're definitely very grateful and happy for everyone who's watching these videos, and hopefully they get value from them. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you've enjoyed this content, give it a thumbs up. But no questions today. So I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my afternoon. Have a great day. Take care.